People worry about things that are of almost no importance when it comes to nutrition. Hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and I thought I would chat with you guys and gals a little bit about this today. And I'm not saying they're of no importance. What I'm saying is they're very, very far down the list of concerns. And I mean, people worry about things like pesticides, right? They worry about artificial sweeteners. They worry about GMOs. They worry about red dye 40, all these different things, okay? Things people worry about. Here's the problem with a lot of that. Those are the sort of things that you should worry about when you've got the other stuff fixed, meaning some of those things probably have no benefit at all for you to worry about, and I mean literally a waste of your time. It can depend on the one and what the data is. Some of the ones that may matter, they're really just there to get you that last 0.5% health advantage. It's probably going to be very, very, very minor, if anything, in the grand scheme of things. So let me give you an example of how I would compare it to. That's literally like someone who is making minimum wage or has a very low paying job. They are living paycheck to paycheck. Okay, they don't have all the basics covered. They really need to focus on their finances. Like maybe they don't even work full time. So they're struggling financially. So then they spend a lot of time worrying about Roth IRAs and investments. Okay, you see what I mean? Like you look at that and go, well, yeah, I mean, those you're knowing about your mutual funds and your IRAs and things like that. Yeah, that's pretty important to your finances, right? For people who already make plenty of money. Okay, that's the sort of thing you worry about when you're financially stable, you have no debt, you have great income, and you're trying to just squeeze a little more in the long game. Okay? That's an example. Like you're hoping to glean that extra 1% money on that several $100,000 a year you're already making, particularly as you start getting closer to your retirement. Because isn't that what we're talking about with these minor health things? You're late in life when you're in your 60s, 70s, 80s. You're hoping to gain some little small, tiny quality of life benefit. Like maybe if I cut this one thing out, it'll reduce my cancer a little bit when I'm 75. Okay, it's the same sort of thing. Okay. The sort of stuff you worry about with your finances when you're already good. Like if you're poor, you don't worry about stuff like that. You don't even have time to worry about stuff like that. Man, you got to be hustling somewhere. You're out looking for another job. You're trying to make some money somewhere. You're trying to figure out how you're going to pay the electric bill. You sure as hell don't have time to worry about your Roth IRAs. Do you understand the equivalency here? So what sort of lifestyle would I be talking about where you wouldn't care about this? I don't know. Let's say you eat refined sugar at all. Notice I didn't say in moderation or eating large amounts. No. You eat any refined sugar. You eat refined sugar once or twice a week in some meaningful quantity. Why in the hell are you worried about this other stuff? Ooh, you're not even fixing the big stuff. I mean, that's really simple on the list. Like if you really care about your health, you wouldn't touch refined sugars with a 10-foot pole. They wouldn't be in your diet, other than maybe an occasional cheat meal. Once or twice a month you might have a cheat meal or something. Okay, fine. You see what I mean though? If you eat a little bit of refined sugar every day, like you're at that level, you're over here with the person who's working minimum wage. You really don't need to be thinking about your mutual funds at this point. You haven't fixed the big stuff. The big stuff, why don't you get rid of that shit first? That's pretty high on your list. Why are you worried about red number 40 or aspartame when you eat table sugar? Like that is stupid. It is moronic beyond belief to even be worried about that. Dude, you got bigger things. You're eating freaking table sugar. Way unhealthier, way more carcinogenic. You're way more likely to get cancer from that crap than the other stuff you're worried about. Okay, people worried about toxicity. I'm worried about pesticides in my food. They drink alcohol. This will upset people. Notice I said they drink alcohol. I didn't say how much. Any. You drink a glass of wine on Friday night. Okay, why do you care about pesticides at this point? The legal limits of how much pesticide can be put on your food in America, you will never approach the amount of load on your liver and toxicity in your body and literally poisoning your body that glass of wine gives. You're not even remotely close. Again, you're stepping over dollars to pick up dimes. Like if you're not 100% completely sober year round, right? Don't worry about poison in your food. Don't worry about pesticides. You're already putting more direct toxic load in your body with that once a week drink than is even possible to get from the pesticides. Not even, like they're not comparable. Again, this is like a person who works 20 hours a week at a minimum wage job, worrying about, hey man, which mutual fund should I be picking for retirement? Bro, you can't even make your bills. You don't have any money for that. We're at this level of equivalency. Silly nonsense. I'm worried about some GMOs, but they eat butter. They eat refined cooking oils. Okay. Yeah, you don't need to be worried about the other thing. So these are examples. People who eat garbage, who literally poison their body and eat garbage, really don't need to waste a single second of their life worried about any of this sort of other stuff. You're eating the already provable, horrifically bad stuff that is killing you. That's making you fat, that's making you diabetic, it's giving you cancer, the whole nation really. You're already eating that stuff. Why are you worried about this minor stuff? Get all of that out of your diet. So that's what I would tell people. Like, unless you live a perfect lifestyle, wasting 30 seconds worried about aspartame or the pesticides in your food, you see where we're going? This is a misallocation of resources. That stuff you worry about when you're like, I eat no junk food. I eat no butter, no refined sugar, zero alcohol. I get lots of fruits and vegetables. I work out every day. I'm lean. I have a six-pack. I have good cardiovascular conditioning. Okay, worry about the big stuff. Okay, once all that's perfect and you go, I don't know, man, maybe when I turn 80, I want a 3% lower risk of cancer. I've already done all this other stuff. I just want that last little tiny advantage. That's when you start maybe digging into some of these other things. When you get into the debate of will organic food help? Should I be worried about artificial sweeteners or diet? Like, you worry about this stuff when your lifestyle's already pretty much perfect. Otherwise, it's a complete waste of your resources. Fix the big stuff first. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.